Hey guys. Usually I just like use this channel just to cut up my Apex clips and post them for saving, but I just wanted to go over some of the changes that happened in Path of Exile to how I think mapping works and endgame mapping in general. Um, I definitely was someone who like heavily invested into like one mechanic, and just like and did the one mechanic I enjoyed, whether that be Legion, Harvest, Essence, Harbinger, Daily Orb farming. Like I like that definitely seemed to be how they wanted you to play before. But with all the changes they've made, like with the removal of sextants and how they've changed scarabs, it's definitely felt as though the new meta has become more go general and not specific. And because of that, I think the back to the basics keystone is really strong right now. Um, and what this means is that you'll start doing maps that have like if you're doing 8 mod corrupted maps, you'll do maps that have 300 quantity and 100% pack size. I think my best right now is like 320 and 112. I don't really remember, but like it's pretty up there. Um, so yeah, I farmed my Headhunter using this strat. It took me around 100 maps. I did 16, I think, today. Not too sure. I think this has been updated since I last looked at it. Um, and if I go to last, yeah, like my first map was my first T16 map was like less than 48 hours ago, I think, and I farmed probably like 80 div in that time. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's basically still just go fast, play something that can play T16s, but instead of farming, like I said, a specific thing, I think you really need to consider farming in general. So for me, that looked like using cartography scarabs for more maps. And then I'm farming my own 8 mods and selling the ones I can't use or don't use, as well as hunted traders. And I am sustaining 8 mods with this. Like I've went through a ton, and then these are all the extra ones I have as well, and they're selling for like 25C each just to get rid of them fast. If you don't have a character that can run T16 8 mods, I would just recommend farming plain T16s. Up to you if you still want to run singular focus or not. Um, and then I think you can bulk sell T14 to 16s for like 30 per divine, which I think still will put you pretty even. I think in that case you maybe wouldn't want to run a singular focus and then sell the extras, and then if you can't sustain, yeah, do your own thing. But in that case, I'd probably just like roll for chisels and quality, or I'd chisel them and just roll for mods that you can do in probably like 80, 90 quant. Um, and then the other thing you're going to be doing, and well, I guess because you pick up back the basics, you pick up all the map chants that you can, pick up the explicit modifier mods. I don't know why this is considered a map. I guess because it affects your map. I'm trying. I guess this thing seems to do some stuff as well. Um, I guess this is useless because this node is useless because I don't run want. Good to know. I'll find somewhere else for that. Um, or I don't run quality. Um, yeah. So then after that, you want to look at scarabs because scarabs are also dropping in every map. So I just like looked through the PoE Ninja list of scarabs and like looked at what was good. Like it seemed like Beasts, Essence, Breach, Harvest, um, were sort of the big ones, Ambush as well, and Div scarabs. So then I got rid of like the ones that I didn't like. That's what these nodes do now. Their scarabs, Fanny Maps cannot be like Abyss, cannot be Expedition ones. And then the mirror of these ones is up here. And then that's where like you say, I want more Cartos, I want more Reliquary, I want more Harbs. Um, so these will probably be fluctuating throughout the league, what ones are good, what ones are bad. But for the most part, like this is the way I went with it. Um, yeah, and then I am just bulk selling them. Unfortunately, like it does mean you need to make use of TFT, but I mean, if you're just interacting with these things, it's not really it's an unfortunate design system that GGG has allowed to perpetuate throughout the um, community. But just the way it is. After that, I guess I can get into sort of my opinions on how corpses now work. So they decided to try out this system where Necro is also on the skill tree, and I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think once you say like, hey, this is going to be in your map every single time, you are kind of then forced to pick up the necro nodes because they are in your map every single time. Like if you're doing harvest or you're doing harbinger or you're doing essence and it was in your map every single time for free and you weren't picking up these nodes, like I think you were just sort of trolling yourself and you could do the content. So yeah, I think it also just like makes so much sense to pick up corpse nodes. In terms of which ones you're looking for, mod tiers and meta mods are just sort of better than the unique one right now. Other than that, you can just pick up whatever else you want. I do think these Ember Evolving ones are good. Like I've made a few divines from these ones I find, but I'm just preferring scarabs right now because I like the scarab drops. Like you can edit this to pick up those nodes if you wanted. I'm basically preferring like an extra 24% scarab drops or 24% increased scarab drops. So yeah, so for the corpses, I had an absolute pain of a time trying to sell them. Like I did things like this to try and price them all out, and it was terrible. Like I hated it. So I then just started going directly to the people buying, people who are planning these crafts and trying to figure it out. And like yeah, like you might only get 5C each, 10C each for some of them, but it's a lot better than the other way of doing it in my opinion. So like if I am like just looking for like plus 50 mod, oh, can't type. Like I have a ton here, ton there, and that's like a good divine and a half, 2 divines just from what I've been doing. Um, yeah, there's a lot. And then every now and then you get some of the more like expensive ones. I think people should really price themselves here, but it is a lot easier to go to someone who wants something than to try and like make your own shop until there's some tools that are released. Um, so yeah, I think that's sort of the end of my point. Um, I think back to the basics is really strong right now, just in terms of like farming what people want. I don't think we're necessarily in an economy that like wants a ton of stuff from like harbingers, a ton of stuff from essences or breach or legion. Even harvest is kind of whatever because corpse crafting is so cool right now. Um, and yeah, like I said, I did farm this on a like I got pretty lucky and I got this bow on my first craft. Um, but I did do most of the farming, first half of the farming on like an 800 DPS Ellie bow and a Bisco's. And like it was fine. I mean, if we looked at this more in depth, there'd be like an increase in time at some point where when I got the better bow, but I don't remember when it was, or a decrease in time, I should say. Um, but yeah, give it a thought. I think like overall they're just trying to push people more towards T16 maps. Um, thanks.